Hey everybody, how you doing? Texas Danny. This is like a quick commentary coming to you from Texas here on March the 30th, 2022. What is this? Is like a Wednesday or, wow, I wish I knew. I think it's Wednesday. It's almost noon here in Texas. I've got to do a quick commentary because this one is just so in line with the pathology of this place we're at. Those of us who are quantum affected, also known as Mandela affected, are those of us who are quantum jumpers, reality shifters, timeline shifters, whatever designation you want to give yourself, if you want to give yourself a designation at all, right? Me, it all started in June 2016. A lot of us seem to have come out of 2016 for whatever reason, but also people earlier, 2015, people later, and up to the present day. And some people, for example, Rain up in the high country, said she had her first experience in the early 80s. All right. The thing that's funny about what's going on is, I'm of age in America for disability, well, not disability benefits, but Social Security benefits, early benefits, right? Which are a somewhat slightly lesser scale, but I'm still eligible. It's that time, right? And things have been rough lately, so I thought, well, let's see if I've got the option. Now, for some time, I've been trying to get a hold of certain government agencies, which are all shut down because of the, you know what, okay, which I've had that recently. I'm not wearing my mask, and I'm still riddled with it today. But the point is I've been calling and calling, and of course, you always get these modern prompts that we've been having for years now. For really all this century, even let's say, all the way back until the early 80s is about where this really started. Not necessarily right then, but the very beginning of it was around the very beginning of the 1980s. This modern technology, voicemail, callbacks, options, that kind of thing like that. Now, as we all know, everything wants you to do it yourself now, and a kind of a do-it-yourself kind of deal is a good thing in a lot of ways, but not always. Sometimes you need some help, some information, some assistance. That's what we're all a part of. However, this place, this reality, has its strange functionings, and I've had a lot of comments that I've made about things don't add up. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. We're in a confused state. We've never really known where we're at or where we've been. The circumstances are a mystery. They're a mystery, a huge mystery, right? But I looked at the modern information about where it was open. Got the directions, which is, it's a wonderful instrument and a tool to have navigation aids. But, I thought I'll go down there myself. It says it's open, and it's not the best part of town, but you got to have equal opportunity for all, and you have to have these offices spread out all over the place. So that's the location that they chose, that part of town, right? I went down there. The directional finder took me right to the spot, which was an empty lot. The place I've been trying to go to forever was just on the other side of the freeway. It was literally super, super close. Very convenient. But that was one of the closed locations. Well, after going down there to the empty lot and double checking to see there was nothing there, I go back up to the original office that was very close to where I was at. And I take a look, and there's activity in the place. The place isn't full, but there are several cars in the lots. There's about a score of vehicles out front, and there's people obviously going in this place. Well, I sat and watched and actually ate a sandwich, watching these people go in and stuff like that. Some people are lining up. There's a guard there. They're waiting to talk to them. Some people are going right on in. You can assume anything. They're employees. They're part of the government agency or whatever, right? Well, these people go on in, of course, and stuff like that, or, get stuff like that. I go up there, and I happen to be the last one in line, and there was nobody behind me. And there's a young guy there, a young guard, and I was telling him, hey, I've been to, I need to talk to somebody about Social Security. I've got some circumstances. I can't get anybody to answer the phone. These are after several attempts with lengthy waits, which you have to have, why they keep on sending you the non-interactive forced narrative, which is basically ain't nobody answering your call. This is a stymie, right? Okay, so you wait and you wait, and I tell the guy, listen, I even been to this other place. The guy jumps the shark, he jumps the gun, and he tells me, oh yeah, well that building, down there is, they're open, but they're closed. They don't have any phones. So I said, there's not even a building there. There's nothing there, right? And he just goes blank, right? I was like, wow, this guy just come up with a story right in front of me. Just tell me that, well, yeah, there's a building there and it's open, but it's closed and they got no phones. It's like, what? Why would they list that as the place that's open then? Well, that's Google, and that's the trippy thing is going on with this. Is I said, these people there could be another format made, even if it was an absolute necessity because of the, an absolute necessity. There was no, that there was a standard operating procedure of non-contact, that there had to be separation, right? You could at least leave your petition information or your information for contact, or you can leave some kind of information with that agency to say, hey, I need to make an appointment with you or call you or you contact me or what, right? I don't, I've got recently a situation where I don't have an address now. But this kind of a thing, you can come up with alternatives. With just a reasonable amount of decent thinking, you could come up with several alternatives. But that's the funny thing. This is a forced narrative. This is a simple stymie. It's a scam. It's a scam. Oh man, here, you get it online, go do it online. It's the same thing you should have been looking for at the grocery stores, at your corner drugstores, at all these places that are offering increased automation, are showing you the progress that's being made in what's happening to Earth right now. Okay, with what's going on with Earth right now. It should show you a lot, right? Because you can see a design around you. It abounds. There is a sophisticated, shrewd design in place. And I think it goes with our closings. Those of you who already know my channel, with our transformations and reductions in scope. If I'll clarify that lately. I want to apologize because of my personal life. I haven't been able to do any videos that much on Earth or the circumstances that are going on. I was going to do a detailed explanation of the Earth, and then I found out, well, you've got to move no matter what you want to do, and that kind of thing. And I haven't found full employment or whatever. That's the way it goes. But it's a situation of the things that are going on around us, right? And that should be also some of the things that you should have noticed about the Earth's physical environment, no matter where you're at. Now, I know it may be different for everybody. Everybody may say, well, it's peachy keen, fine for me, right? But I will give you one thing where I am absolutely certain on, as in the circumstances of pre-jump, are before the quantum event, before the knowledge of Mandela affected individuals on Earth, right? That we at least knew that human curiosity had a certain scope, and my Earth, believe me, was not perfect, not by a long shot. It was bad, right? But people were at times at least inquisitive. They were, had curiosity. This, with what's missing now from the picture, what's missing from the picture, plus those things that people should have been seeing, knowing that there are differences. I'm physically, anatomically different here than I was on my old Earth. All I have to do is look at my hands, and a lot of us are aware of this right now. I've got a double chin here, right? I used to have a real turkey double chin going on the old country, right? A jawline didn't come out this straight, and the ears weren't back like here, and we didn't have the indentation up there. But this is so weird, though, is the conduct and the behavior, but it just shows the format. It shows things are in progress. There's just no way that you wouldn't think of some alternatives that you say, they're so busy in there. And look, there's people getting in. Yes, I see that's obvious. It's just I can't even get a phone call answered, right? And here I am, and you hand me the same phone number. It's just, and when the guy gave me that, when I went to the place where the directional Google map finder told me, well, there it is, it's on your right. There's an empty lot. So that's the kind of thing that can happen here, though. We are hampered a lot by the ability of this place to control us quite a bit. And it happens that way. It can control things. Things are arranged, they're fixed, whatever they are, You have to deal with diabolical types. It's like, whoa, man. I mean, I was a screwed up puppy, badly. Still am, right? I had my issues, believe me. Everybody does, right? But it's just, it's the uniform mind here is a singular scope. It's like one entity, just one. Whew. Shotgunned out there to the overwhelming vast majority of everybody. That's something else. It's a long one today, and I'm sorry about that. But let me vent and say thank you. Earth changes are abounding right now. And let me give you one quick minute on that, if I will. We still have the Gulf of California opening up quite a bit. They're in the northern part of the Gulf of California, up next to where Arizona and Baja California and California are at. There's a lot of effects that are happening right there in the American Southwest. A big amount of effects. There's a lot of effects in northern Mexico, Sonora, central Mexico, period. The whole thing, the entire North American continent, yes, and Earth is active. But the Southern California has particularly interesting things going on from the Salton Sea up out of the Gulf of California. The valley, Central Valley in California, the San Fernando Valley, is extraordinarily changing. In my observations of Google Earth and my 2012 North American printed atlas, which does change. I can't always recognize and remember all the pattern changes when my atlas changes. I just know it does. And when I've seen it, because I still have some memory recognition in these phase changes that we've had. Ocean Girl in Australia had some interesting things come up with New Zealand. When I mentioned that New Zealand was sliding further south than it is, right? She also mentioned that, and I knew something was wrong with the Northern Island of New Zealand. Up past Auckland, the peninsula, I said, there's something going on with the peninsula. I'm not sure what it is. And she knew what it was. It had come hard over southwest, right? Where it used to almost be a vertical up and down on New Zealand. it had come over. That to me is the interior sphere in rotation, in diminishing and coming closer in closing, right? We've got the Mediterranean closing. We've got activity off of Italy, because Italy's got activity because the Mediterranean is closing, especially around down towards Giza, Crete coming down, and the Aegean, and Turkey and Greece towards northern Africa and vice versa. Tunisia's going up towards Sicily, and we got islands coming up there before Sicily and Tunisia. We have islands coming up everywhere. We're going to have a lot of islands coming up in the South Pacific when the Marianas Trench starts pushing out further, and Indonesia and the Philippines and stuff like that are in the rotational cup, along with Australia, going up into Southeast Asia. All our sphere is interconnected, and all the movements are like a giant flowing pattern. You can see the effect in time as this thing moves. I don't know how it is exactly. I'm also seeing on Google Earth, the subaquatic activity demonstrated, and it's just moving too fast. And of course, Greenland, the ice is coming off double quick. I mean, I can't overemphasize how quick the ice is coming off double quick off Greenland. But Antarctica is also busy. The world, Earth is busy. Up around the Amazon with course changes there. Eastern Brazil opening up. Further changes in Chile and Argentina. I couldn't help myself but have a conversation with whom I thought was definitely a resident. One of the locals. And I expected the kind of reaction I got. Exactly. I was telling him, yeah, I see map changes, that kind of thing like that. And I let him know what was happening. And I was telling the guy, he got further into it, and I kind of measured myself, and I kind of gave a little break on, well, of course it could be this, it could be that. I didn't want to rock this guy's boat too hard, but I wanted to see his reaction. Towards the end, it was like, wow, who am I talking to here? It's very understandable. For the affected, for the quantum affected and the Mandela affected on Earth, we know what the score is. There's a lot of people out there who can see a lot too. A lot of different talents, a lot of different unique abilities, dedicated work, concentration skill. My hat's off to a lot of people out there who do a lot of things, but we're in it together. Shouldn't be anybody needing to get the crown achievement award here, saying it all came from me. It was a great effort from one and all, and anything that can be added is great. Just simply talking about it, being real, being sincere, but being truthful. And that is a place where we have to find what is the truth. Remember, one of the quantum changes, the Mandela effect changes, was the Johnny Quest. Those of you who remember how Johnny's name was spelled, Johnny and Hodge. I used to watch that show as a kid in the 60s. As a little kid, I watched that it was color TV, Johnny Quest. And the name was changed. Those changes, those alterations, what have you, seem to be indications for us to look for the path of discovery, to help us search. We've been communicated with, we've been helped. We have sincerely been helped by someone or something that I don't think is bad. I think it's good. And it's trying to help, trying to bring us to a greater measure of understanding our circumstances. And also telling us, in a way, I think what that individual, mind, and spirit, heart is trying to talk to us about. A lot's going on. We're in a unique world, not one of our own, but one apparently which we existed in and then jumped into ourselves and found ourselves here. Not the worst or the best of circumstances. Rough. Everybody seems to communicate the same way. And hopefully I'm communicating good with you right now. I want to thank you for the time. It's been a long one. Texas Danny out. Bye.